What if your next adventure wasn't just about the destination, but about who you become along the way? I'm not just here to travel, I'm here to walk with purpose, to follow in the footsteps of millions who've journeyed before me, not for fame, not for photos, but for peace, healing, and something deeper. Welcome back to Journeys of Peace. Join me as I take on the challenge of exploring some of the world's most powerful pilgrimage routes. Together, we'll push our limits, open our hearts, and discover what these sacred paths truly mean. To many, a pilgrimage might just look like a long walk, a physical challenge, a historical curiosity. But to those who've taken the first step, it's a calling, a ritual, a reckoning. Pilgrimages go back thousands of years, woven into the fabric of every major faith and culture. They're not just about getting from point A to point B, they're about what happens between the steps, the inner shifts, the conversations with strangers that feel like divine appointments, the tears you didn't expect, and the peace you didn't think was possible. Let's start with the Camino de Santiago, arguably the most iconic pilgrimage in the Western world. Stretching over 780 kilometers across northern Spain, this ancient trail ends at the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, where legend says the remains of St. James lie. Every year, thousands walk this route, seeking purpose, healing, or just time away from the noise. But few leave unchanged. Like myself, I began the Camino because I felt immense grief after suffering several losses. I met many new people from across the world and some who lived not far from me. As I walked, I knew I wasn't alone. I felt my grandpa's smile as I passed through pastures of grazing cattle. I heard my grandmother's voice as I went through the woods telling me not to be afraid. I heard my grandfather say, "If you can do this, you can do anything." In those last kilometers, as the way markers went down to zero, the weight of grief lifted. I'd done something amazing. Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, an obligation that every Muslim must fulfill if physically and financially able. It's not just a journey, it's a once-in-a-lifetime spiritual reset. Each year, millions gather in Mecca for 5 days of intense devotion, reflection, and unity. People from every corner of the globe, every walk of life, dressed in white, standing equal before God. It's one of the most powerful displays of global faith and solidarity on earth. Every 12 years, more than 100 million people gather for Kumbh Mela, making it the largest peaceful gathering in human history. Held at the confluence of the Ganges, Yamuna, and mythical Saraswati rivers, it's a celebration of cleansing the soul. Pilgrims take sacred dips, listen to spiritual teachings, and participate in rituals believed to free them from the cycle of rebirth. It's chaotic, it's overwhelming, and it's absolutely awe-inspiring. The Shikoku pilgrimage loops around Japan's Shikoku Island, connecting 88 Buddhist temples in honor of the monk Kukai. That's over 1,200 kilometers of quiet coastal paths, forest trails, and ancient stone steps. Walkers are welcomed as Ohenro-san, respected pilgrims. Locals often offer free meals or places to rest, practicing a tradition called osetai, a form of humble generosity that echoes the spiritual lessons of the journey. To Buddhists, Hindus, Jains, and followers of Bon, Mount Kailash is considered the axis of the universe. Circumambulating this sacred mountain is believed to erase lifetimes of karma. It's honestly one of the most remote and physically demanding pilgrimages in the world, but also, one of the most profound. No one actually climbs the mountain. It's completely forbidden. Instead, pilgrims walk 52 kilometers around its base in an act of deep devotion and humility. So, what draws people to these sacred trails? Maybe it's a crisis, a loss, a search for meaning. Or, maybe it's just the soul whispering, go. These paths teach us to let go of distractions, to listen more, to receive help, and above all to connect across languages, cultures, and beliefs. The trail doesn't care where you're from. It only asks, are you willing to walk with intention? The tears I cried while walking were reminders of the reality that I had no control over the past, and the only thing I could control is my own actions. By the time I reached Santiago, I had found a new version of myself. Not healed exactly, but whole again. That's the power of pilgrimage. It doesn't fix you, it reveals you. Wherever you are in your life, stuck, searching, or simply curious, know this. There's a path waiting for you. One step is all it takes to begin. So which pilgrimage calls to you? Drop it in the comments. I'd really love to hear your story. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more soul-filled travel content.